So I'll hang about for a bit. Obviously, pocket kings. We're going to want to jamage here. Folds. I don't know. Take a little note here, just like 4-bet bluff. Cutoff versus. It's really quite tilting. Like, does it expect me to have OBS? Like, if I click anywhere on a PokerStars table, it's bringing that window to the back, and then that's stopping it from registering the hotkey, which is fucking dumb, because nobody wants OBS in their face when they're streaming. Like, what if I'm playing a full screen game or something like that, right? Like, how does that work? I don't fucking know, man. I feel like D-Negs, so I'm going to D-Negs-esque rant in a second here. He's like, I don't know why he makes flushes! He shouldn't make any fucking flushes! Man, it's not fair! Like, Doug's parody of D-Negs ranting was so fucking great. Like, you should check that out if you haven't seen Doug's parody of it. Absolutely fantastic. Right, Jack 10, let's focus on the here and now. So we check call flop and we face a turn barrel. Clearly our hand is another call. I don't think this hand is bad enough that we would ever mix any raise with it, and we clearly wouldn't mix any fold with it, so easy call. River's not great, it allows him to... Well, it's fine. I mean, it does allow him to overbet more aggressively with overpairs and stuff like that. I think Jack 10 in this spot now is playing as a kind of meh hand. Like, we do block Jack 8, but... And he does have Jack 8 of hearts, and that does big bet flop. Do I have a preference here for whether I want to overfold or overcall? I don't have that many 4s. I have a lot of 9s and 7s. I think I need to call this hand fairly often. Yeah, we'll call this time, but I don't really care. Okay, a 6 off. 10s on 2 tables at once, guys. Look at this shit. Right, left, right, left, right, left. I'm just going to 3-bet 10s. I roll high. I roll a 99, in fact. Back over to the left-hand table. And having ISO'd, I think we're just going to favour betting nice and large on this flop. We have a fairly big nut advantage here, although we can have 4s and 5s. It's not a significantly worrying part of his range. In life and destroy my whole setup. I'm going to take a sledgehammer and just smash, smash, smash all the computers and monitors. Cost myself a few K, but it'll be worth it to get rid of that anger, right? It'll be worth it. So we'll do that. We'll smash the computers to pieces. It'll be good. It'll be good, guys. So yeah, I don't know why this happened. So maybe you know. Maybe you can shed some light on it. Sorry to keep harassing you with these questions, but seriously, this is doing my fucking head in. Right, Ace Jack 3 with Ace 4, obviously just going to be, I think, calling. I don't think this hand ever gets to raise in these positions. Maybe like against button it does sometimes. And Ace turn is obviously nut-wise fine for him, but range-wise good for me. And on the river, I kind of struggle to have that much air here when the king lands, so I'll be doing a lot of block with king queen. I'll be doing a lot of block with a lot of hands. I think the standard play with Ace 4 is also to block. I don't think I use a ton of big bet here. Obviously my range should be more value heavy than bluff heavy when I block, and indeed it will be. When villain raises like this small, honestly, like I've got the guy tagged as recreational. Yeah, he's just doing all kinds of stupid spewy stuff. I'm just not going to fold. It's too likely he's just doing something dumb like that. Yeah, it's just so likely that's overbluffed. And the reason it's likely that's overbluffed is that it's just so hard to check back a value hand on the turn, or even queen 10 is going to barrel like a fair frequent. The hell is that avatar? That's really fucking creepy. Because the OBS client works at all. Got like email up and stuff. I'm just gonna close like minimize everything else here and see if that makes any difference. I don't know why it would, but yeah, it's like I keep having to click on OBS every time just to bring it to the front. It's kind of irritating for the hotkey to do anything. What's going on here? Did I just get cold called in this spot? Okay, I think his range will be mostly condensed when he cold calls, so the amount of okay, this is a really weird spot. So the amount of bluff raises he can have here is not very many, and if I was going to say if I check back, the amount of turn leads he can have is not very many. I don't really know what's going on here, guys, to be honest. This could just be someone that has ace king really often. It could be someone that's on tilt spewing. There's lots of different examples. He could have like 6s. He can have flush draws. I feel like king queen I'm not going to fold. He can easily just have king queen himself and stuff like that, and I think jam now is the play. But it's kind of whatever. And he's... Yeah, thanks Silicon. I'd appreciate that, man. I'd really like to get that sorted. I'm free lots. I'm free now, actually, after the stream. Or I'm free tomorrow sometime. Just let me know. If you can do now, we can do now. If not, if you're not doing anything else, if not, we can do another time. Definitely want to get this sorted. So over in the right-hand table here, we're just going to be flatting this min 3-bet with 5s. Over here, we want to be checking back this flop most of the time against under the gun, like under the gun against big blind. Jacks will have a betting frequency with, for sure. It's a left-hand table, but I'm going to check this time, actually. And back to the right table, we flop bottom set, which is, of course, very nice. What happens here? Both players... No, he's button, so we're just going to start with a check. With some kind of check raise, probably, something like that. On this table, we just call the turn lead here. I don't think we want to do anything else. Obviously, like a horrific run out for us. And I think check raise might be okay here. This cold call's a bit annoying. Like, there's some set over set that can happen to us here, but I don't know that we gain a ton by just check calling when draws are so live here. I'm gonna go ahead and just raise and get it in, of course. Set over set is a thing, it can happen, but when it does, it's just one of those things. And we're all in. Hopefully it's queens or aces, that's good. Aces, we're 3-betting. Go to settings, advanced tab, and at the bottom hotkeys was set to disable them when window in main. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, this looks good. This looks like a solution, Solo Corona. I really appreciate this, man. Thank you. Right, aces here. We are... What do? We 3-bet pre. We got cold called by this weaker player, and then we're on this flop. I think just betting with the weaker player in the hand who has like a lot of jacks and 10s here is just going to be preferable. Like, this guy's range is going to be really weak here. This guy's going to have mostly jacks, mostly 10s. He's going to have a little bit of 9s and 8s, but when he snap calls flop, obviously that diminishes a bit, right? I'm probably going to bet 60% pot here and shove river. I think this is probably the best sizing, just something like this. And reasonably safe river for us. There's even a chance he has like ace king. This is a bit annoying in that when he has jacks, he sometimes just pitches now, but really easy shove. Hope to fade the set. No snap call is good. Sixes are going to fold. Ace 5, we open small blind, jack 6-5, we're going to do quite a bit of checking on, but I'm going to bet sometimes as well, and I'm going to bet this hand this time. Left hand table, we're going to go ahead and usually check 9s. We're checking this board 60ish% of the time against a weaker player, though. This is a pure check, we just don't want to bet. King Queen is a pure check here back as well, like we're just not going to be... Let me bring that up. Fuck off. Oh my god, this software. Right, check back King Queen, and back over to the left table maybe, and we're going to call. Because they bet random shit and we're not folding 9s. Now we're just going to call again because like this turn is so good for us and this player looks like an absolute psycho. Anyone that's running 43-43 over a small sample and has a stack is just betting like ace 3 here. So like fuck this guy, let's not fold, right? King Queen we did face a bet and we just end up, well, we're kind of indifferent to turn, but end up pitching the turn on the other table. With the 9 of hearts in my range, I'm going to call river as well. I think there's just too much spew here. And this turn sizing is just indicative of spew. It's just indicative of like random fish bluffing. Like there's just no way I'm folding here, guys. No fucking chance I'm folding to this. No chance. Okay, yeah, the flush that time winning. Much more than that, I would think, against most random fish with those stats. So very easy call. And you're not trying to win every time, right? You're not like, oh no, I was wrong when I called and he had it. I was wrong. I should have... No, fuck off. You shouldn't have folded. We're not being like that, guys. We're just being reasonable about it. We're being like, yeah, there's a certain amount of time we need to win. If we hit that target, we're happy. Queen 10, defend big blind, check flop, happy days. King 10, 3-bet button, get this flop. Probably mixing here. I'm going to check this time. I don't think it's a super frequent bet with this hand or anything. I think the turn is quite a frequent bet, but not always. And I'm actually going to check again on that roll. We do reckon we'll be bluffing river on the left-hand side with King 10. It's pretty much bottom of range. Block is a thing here. Probably bigger bet's a thing here too. I'm going to go for a bigger bet this time. Get called by ace king. That's alright, I guess. Queen 10, we check again. I mean, ace king, it doesn't strike me as anything like a snap. He just snaps. I don't really know why. I mean, a lot of my bluffs bluff earlier. That's the thing. I have to roll low twice to be waiting till river there. Queen 10, I maybe can block river. I was just running out of time on the right-hand table and turn the river. So it might look really odd waiting to the river and then bluffing with a flush draw, but that's something we should do sometimes because we do want flush draws in our checking ranges on the flop and turn at some frequency, and we roll very low both times with the off-screen RNG, so that's why that happened. Ace 8 here, we go ahead and 3-ball against the fish. Jack 7-6 is reasonable for a range, it's not great. We can do a bit of bet with this hand, but I think check is way more frequent. It's just the sort of hand that's going to go check, check, check a lot. It's not very good. It doesn't get a whole lot better to fold. It doesn't have great blockers. It doesn't interact with the board. I think this is just a check, 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 check spot. I will bluff this river probably, because now we're just very, very low in range now. Again, I think we have to be betting these spots, and I'm just going to go for the sizing again. Probably we get called again here a fair amount, but it's still... Why? I don't know, man. I don't fucking know why. Set. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby, I love it. Woo, baby! This is a D-next moment right here, guys. We're going to check raise and we're going to stack this Fidedo guy. We're going to get our revenge from when he made that flush against us before. I think it was him, at least. This stack, I'm just going to raise to 12. It's going to be fine. Whatever. Fine. Who cares? You can get too wrapped up in sizing. It's not important. I'm going to defend King 10 here. I think it's the highest AV play against a small, pitiful fish sizing. Pitiful, passive fish sizing. Yeah, we're all in, baby, on the right-hand table. All in against a straight. How the fuck did that happen? Jesus Christ. God, we run bad. Oh, we got there. We run so good. We run so good, guys. Fucking D-next moment. Right, back to the left table. We are calling the C-bet. This guy's super tight, so we're probably going to hero fold sometime before the river. Maybe not now. Although maybe still now on this run out. Although I think he doesn't have many flushes 3-betting pre. I'm just going to probably go block and... this is close, actually. I'm probably going to go block on the turn, because I just think ace-queen is super likely and jacks and queens are super likely. I'm going to bet half pot, guys. I think this is a nice sizing in this spot for my 2-pair. I don't think he'll check raise enough good hands here. Like, I think he'll sometimes check raise like aces with a heart and queens with a heart and weird stuff. So I'm probably not folding. And I have some redraw against a flush. So this is probably a call, because I think like king jack can do this and ace king can do this and aces with a heart can do this. I don't think he's ever really bluffing. He might just have kings, like miracle kings. Or he might just have like a set. Or he might have queen jack, or he might have a flush. But it's just a shitty spot, actually. I just think we've got the required equity here. Yeah, I'm going to just call this off. Ace king, yeah, there you go. People are just randomly merged. He doesn't even have a heart. He just has naked ace king. And we just hold, so I fucking run good session today, guys. I've got less than fucking 6 o'clock as well, guys. Right, we're going to check 10-3 deuce this time with jack 9. When the weaker player checks back turn, he's just going to be super weak. So just going to overbet exploitatively with this combo at full frequency and win. Although, yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. That's what happens if you whinge like that and you're like, I can't win, he's making flushes, like in a game of super high variance that you voluntarily got yourself into. I mean, of course, right? Of course, you're going to be a bit of a laugh. I'm going to go ahead and range bet king 8-6 practically. Threes on the turn is a little bit of bluff with a club, I believe. I rolled super high here. I'm going to go ahead and overbet. This is a low frequency play. Like most of my bluffs are going to be like 10-7, 9-7, 7-5, jack 10, queen 10 type things. But this hand does unblock the folding range because most of the stuff with threes in it. This isn't a thing. You shouldn't really be doing this, but I don't think we have the odds even at that. This is just going to be the nuts, obviously, like ace 8 or something. Some stupid merge that shouldn't be. I think king jack on this right hand table is a lot less of a call against this size. But because it's a weaker player with a really wide range, I'm just going to click call and play a pot. I don't think there's enough fold equity to turn this into a bluff and polarize it. So I don't really want to pull out to the extent that I call king jack a bluff. I think I just want to, you know, maybe 3-bet like ace 4 suited if I really want to. Because it's, nah, maybe not even do that. I think we just do a lot of call and 3-bet linear. Easy call. We'll just be calling down in the spot on the right hand table. There's just never a reason to do anything else. I think the river is close between lots of different options. I think block is nice just because he can call with ace high or some random stuff. Do stuff with you. And she said that she was just down the road and all you had to do was click a pop-up that would come up on your computer and then you could meet with her and fraternize. So yeah, that's all you gotta do, is click that thing. She's just in the flat next door. So she just told me via the internet to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? $2.50, $3, printing money, guys, printing money. Okay, king 10 here. We're gonna go ahead and bet this time, and I'm going to use bigger sizing on this flop. This is a super good hand to bluff with. It's near the bottom of my range showdown value wise, and it's just got a ton of ways to fluke its way into the nuts if I do run into like the jacks that are getting stubborn or something. It's just, I'm not saying I've been running terribly, but I've just not had a heater like this. I think they want to squeeze pretty often in this spot. There's just a lot of dead here, a lot of dead money, that is, and getting this guy to herself will be very, very beneficial even with this hand. And that's obviously the best result when they all fold. That's just happy days. So I think squeeze is good. Yes, we're actually running okay for a chain. Well, we're running very well. Running okay. I'm like D-negs, right? No, we're running very well, Sentinel. Yeah, absolutely. We're running good. See how you do. No, I'm going to time out with ace king. No, I'm not. Right, right table, checking, whatever, boring spot. Left table, ace king off, 3-betting against a weaker, just trying to ISO. Not really too thin value, basically. Thin value, protection, isolation. It's thin. Yes, it's thin. Ace king can be thin. Always thin. It's never thick. Check call on the right hand table, clearly, because we have a hand. and there's a random guy, and this pool is fucking soft, and these guys bet with anything. So we don't really care. I'm going to call again. I've got redrawn a pair. I'm getting like 1,000,000 to 1. I'm going to call off ace king here for 70 bigs. I don't love it. Let's see what we end up against aces. Okay. And we are not going to suck out, guys, because we're drawing dead. And here I'm going to call again, like I said, and check. Ace king off is a shit hand pre. It gets you into so much trouble. That's why it's thin, right? And we managed to win against deuces. So this is exactly what I'm saying on that right table. The reason you don't fold there is that the guy is fucking deuces, right? Like, they just have so many hands like that. Do you? They just want to be. They'd be there anyway and they want the mod, right? That's how it works. You just go like, no, give me loads of money. Cold 4 queens here in these positions. It's another spot where if this net, green tag is net, if this net shoves, we are kind of like, meh. We're indifferent and we're probably calling. I'm not folding queens in these positions, but I will recognize that against some people this is nah. I mean, I don't know how bad it actually is to fold queens against that guy. He looks super tight. Like, they just bet too small in just about every spot. We go ahead and check 9-5-3. We roll low. I'm just going to check call here. Check raise is a bit rich with his hand, but it's okay. 9 turn, I mean, maybe you can have a little bit of block bet or lead. I don't really want to, though. I think I just want to let him keep barreling whatever shit he's got. And on this river, like, we unblock it. I don't think villain's going to value bet thin enough here, usually. So I think I just want to probably go ahead and bet. I'm just going to do this. I think it's perfectly fine. It's obviously a thing in equilibrium as well. And it's not that we expect loads of fold equity pre or we expect to be in great shape. We really don't, but we just want to be playing pots here. I really don't mind bet folding this hand. These guys get spewy sometimes and they raise, but they also bet turn a ton, and I just like betting. So you see the snap call on the flop there? That just makes me think that the stationiness of this player and the 60-60 stat line of this player, like both of those things together just makes me think I don't have that much fold equity on the turn. So of course I could bet in equilibrium here. I could check here in equilibrium. It's not a big deal. My hand can definitely go either way. I'm going to check because I think the 3 streets of fold equity is bad, and I think I block a lot of the fold range with this 10 and this 9 of diamonds. So I'm actually just going to check back. Try and get there on the river. If he checks river, again, I should bluff this hand in equilibrium, probably, but I feel like it might not be great in pool, so I might just give up there. Again, weaker player. I think I just want to isolate in this sort of spot. Ace 3 is very, like, borderline in GTO, but I think just getting heads up with the weaker is good. Cold called here. I have the right kind of hand to play 212 BBs deep with. Going to just be checking back here. Like, there's not enough protection needed with this holding at all. I don't want to reopen myself to get jammed on before I manage to hit 2 pair or something. Some of these guys will just ship ace queen on me and things like that, and I'll fold some equity. And yeah, I think just checking here is fine. Bet's not horrible either. There's some equity to be cleaned up here. There's some protection to be cleaned up here, but I think I prefer check, and I roll low anyway, so I think now there's more equity to be cleaned up, so I'm going to block after 2 quick checks especially. King Queen is equity I can clean up. Jack X equity I can clean up or get value from. People who haven't led a draw are quite unlikely to check raise a draw now. So I think overall my chances of just betting for value protection are much better now. There's a lot more hands I can target. I think I check river here. On a club, I mean, he can have an ace, he can have some flushes, he can have some 2 pair, he can have some, God, who knows, like some straights now, even in some worlds. I think this is a check. I need him to have like king, jack, and call here to be good, and he can just have like ace 10 very easily. So I'm just going to check here kings. But yeah, you don't have to be going nuts there or anything for value. Your hand's not that great. Not only does he have to have a jack or better to call, but he has to also call with it. It's very unlikely I get called by anything worse than a jack, and he just doesn't have a lot of jacks pre. King's okay as a thing, but it's not going to be high frequency. This hand just plays better against the 9-5 as a check, I think, and I think I'm just gonna. I could block. I could bet really small. I could check again. I'm gonna just block here for thin value. I think it's a bit better. I can call 8s or something and probably block river. I could check river or block river. Bet 1 big blind. I'm gonna go for tiny block. I'm gonna bet 123. This is the sort of play I only make against recreational nets because I just think it gets super thin to go bigger. Ace jack, so I get called by ace high. That's kind of the idea. GG guys. See you later. Catch the highlights. Remember, if you want to relive the heater on YouTube, on Twitch. Bye for now.